everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Makeup Mondays and I'll be creating this look as I talk to you about something I've been going through, and that is waiting on God and what to do during that period, what that period feels like. So let's get into the video. I was kind of preparing to go for a church service. I started thinking about what I'm going to pray for, and it felt like it's the same stuff I've been praying for I feel like it's for a long time. It made me start wondering how long is too long to pray for something. Like, we all know how we are told, like, there's 3 answers to prayer. You can get a yes, you can get a wait, and you can get a no. But I feel like in our teachings, most of the times you're just taught like you just pray until something happens. Like, what if the answer is no and you're just there and you're keeping on praying and praying and praying? It made me think maybe that's what people like to call like the waiting period. You're just waiting. You're waiting for a yes, and like saying it out loud, it kind of feels like you're forcing God to say yes because you're waiting. What are you waiting for? He's already said no, so like, what are you still waiting right for? Now I do feel like, yeah, I've been praying for all these things, and I've gotten to a point where I don't want to say like the hope is lost, but it's making me question, like, is the answer no? Is the answer to this prayer for these things I'm asking for, is the answer just no? And I'm here just keeping on praying for the same thing and hoping for that, instead of trying to see if God wants me to take like another path, not necessarily do another thing, but like you have to find something else. Like, I have something else in store for you. You have to like shut up and try to see what I'm trying to show you, and like maybe I closed my eyes or something. The thing about feeling like that is you don't know, like, you don't know, and that's the thing about the waiting. Not sure if what you are doing is giving up, because it will come off like, oh, you're just giving up, or it's you're going for the something else that God has for you. And it's, for me, this time of waiting has made so me easy for someone to be like, I want to be the first billionaire in my family. I want to do something anyone in my family has never done. But like, that comes without a manual. You have to figure out for yourself how that's going to work. And actually, for me, it feels really, really hard. And sometimes I do question whether I'm giving up or I'm doing the right thing. You know how the Bible verses will be like, oh, like, I know the plans I have for you. They are good plans. Like, right now, I'm not sure if that's what I believe, because like the plans that I'm seeing, like what's unfolding right now, is really hard, and I don't know if it's going to work out. And I think that's the point of this period, where you just have to like trust that God has your best interests in his heart. But it's kind of hard when you're in the situation. Maybe sometime in the future I'll be like grateful for this period, but right now it's just like I feel like complaining a lot. But I just tell myself, you know what, there's going to be a day, siku inakuja, ipo siku. Like, believing in God, praying, that's the only thing, that's what you've been taught. So you're just working with what you know. I feel like me, I'm just working with that, with praying, doing the best I can, and believing that God is going to take care of the rest. But sometimes I do wonder, like, is he really? And it's not like if you're not grateful for anything, it's I'm grateful. Like a lot of times in church you are told, oh, at least you woke up this morning, like that's a blessing. But it makes me question, like, what's the point of waking up if I'm just going to suffer? Or why do I wake up? I want to have a reason for waking up, and it feels like everything I'm doing to like find that reason, or what I think that reason is not the reason. And I'm at a point where I have to like find that reason, and it's really confusing trying to find the reason. Sometimes like those reasons, the reasons you kind of like find are not what you expected, or what generally it's not what anybody expected, the reasons that you're finding, and you kind of don't have anyone to guide you through those, and you have to like figure it out on your own, which is hard. And it just a lot of times it just makes you feel like you are not doing enough, and maybe you should be doing more, but you've done your best, and it's seeming like your best is not enough. And feel like someone's in church, and it's just saying how God is going to like part the sea for you and do all these things, but you're in that place where you're like, I have this big sea, I've had it for years, but no one is parting it. So like, what am I supposed to do in such a case? And for me, I don't know what to do, because like I've been raised in the church. I expect God to be doing things for me. Like He knows me. He knows the things that I want from my heart, and He's actually put some of those things, even not some, like those things in my heart. He's put them there, but now He's nowhere to be found. And it's not really complaining, it's just saying that I expect you to be working at like 90%, but you're working at 40%, and it's frustrating. In such a time when someone is saying, maybe be grateful for the small stuff, like you're working with God. If you're working with God, why is He working at a 40% when He could be working at 100%? That's what I always ask myself when I'm frustrated. Like, why are you just working at the minimum you can work, when you can do all these things, when you can help me do all these things? So because of all those thoughts which are not helping me, I kind of decided that maybe I should start doing something. Maybe like the answer is no. So let's get to like finding what God wants me to do. So let me just do these other things which I feel like they are not what I initially thought I'd be doing, but they are what I think I'm being drawn to, and maybe that's him saying, no, this one isn't for you, but I have this for you. And to kind of not feel guilty, because it can kind of feel guilty when you have your life like planned out, you are going to do this and this and this, and then all of a sudden you're telling yourself, no, that's not what your life is intended to be like. I have to do these other things, which like you've never thought you are going to do that in your entire life, but here you are. So I don't feel that way. I started the first one, I kind of stopped listening to like the worship music, like they are called Maverick City. I don't know how to pronounce it. That who sing, and a lot of the singing is praising God for helping you cross the river, for helping you climb a mountain. So like I stopped listening to that because it only it made me resent God, because it's clearly not doing what I'm asking for, and I don't know what he wants me to do with that. I'm going to do this other eye of the camera, then I was saying these, like those songs where people have overcome, they're talking about how they've overcome, and you feel like you are not overcoming anything, or God is not doing for you what you want, will kind of make you resent him, because all these other people are getting what they want, but you don't seem to get what you're asking for. So I kind of stopped listening to those. But I'm speaking from my own experience. Some people will listen to them and be like, oh, he's done it for them, so he's going to do it for me. So if you're that kind of person, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about someone who is like me. So instead of those, I listen more to hymns. Hymns kind of focus on heaven, and they remind you that despite everything, despite all the problems of this world, we are going to die and we are going to go to heaven. Like, it kind of sounds, I don't know. You tell me how it sounds in the comment section. But yeah, hymns make me think that at the end of it all, I'm going to go to heaven, and in heaven, you know what they say, there's no problems, there's no working, there's no hunger, like all those problems will end once we go to heaven. So that's one of the things I do to help myself in this situation. The other thing I did, I saw it on TikTok, although it was about a relationship. Someone was praying for their man, so they made this prayer box with everything they wanted in it. So I came up with a prayer box. It's just a box. If you want me to show you how to make one, you can tell me in the comment section. But it's just like a box, and then in that box you write your prayers. So those things that I've been praying for a long time and are stressing me, and I feel like they are stressing me, and I don't have the energy to keep praying for them all this time. I write the date on a piece of paper, and I write that item, and then I'll put it in the box, and I never open that box. Maybe I'll open it at some point and I'll be seeing all my answered prayers, but for now I don't open it, and it gives me a lot of peace. That's one thing that has helped me have a lot of peace, because it has taken off the pressure of me praying every day and having those thoughts of, oh, I prayed for this, I'm waiting for this. Because once I have written it down and I put it in that box, like it's out of written it and I've put it in that box, that's it. It's out of my hands, and now it's in the hands of God. Now it's for God to know what He's going to do with it. So those things that I pray for a lot and they are stressing me, I just write them and I put them in that prayer box. And in that prayer box, I've accepted that that's the hand of God now, so I can get it off my mind. Because if you keep thinking about something and it just gives you stress, it's not helping the situation. You are just preventing yourself from enjoying the moment that you are in at the present. So that's the other thing I did. I started putting those constant prayers that are really stressful, I just put them there. And then if I'm going to pray about them again, maybe if I remember, because a lot of times I just forget. I forget about them when I put them times there. We are taught that we should be grateful. We should, like those people who promote writing, maybe your gratitude. They're like, you have to write them every day. But it's not every day you feel grateful. It's also not every day where you feel like, let me pray. So what I do, the days when I feel like doing it, I really do it. I do it and I can feel like I'm really grateful. This is coming from like the depth of my heart. As opposed to like when I was starting to do that, I tried to do it every day. And that was draining, because some days you just like you're not grateful for anything. Even waking up, you just wake up and you're like, oh my God, I wish I didn't wake up today. But doing it on days when you really do feel like doing it, it takes the pressure off you. Force it. Today you may be grateful, tomorrow you are not grateful. Tomorrow you are in pain and you want to cry. Don't start forcing yourself to start thanking God for the pain. If you are feeling pain, feel pain. Don't pretend that you are not and you're happy about what's happening. And then the other thing, and I think the last thing, although I've not gotten a hang of it yet, I'm working on this one, is studying the Bible. Like every Christian, every person who is a Christian, I think they've been told in their life, like once in your life, you'll have to like read the Bible for yourself, because there is so much in the Bible that it can't all be said in church. You can't expect pastors to tell you all the things in the Bible. So at one point you'll have to read it for yourself, and I've been trying to start reading it, and I don't want to put the pressure on myself, because I've tried reading it before, and the pressure was just too much, because it was like you read, there's those planners people make of read the Bible in a year or something, and then it's like in a day you have to read like 2 chapters or even 3 in the morning, in the evening. I don't really like reading. I've been reading a certain book for like 6 months now, and I'm not even halfway. So even reading the Bible is not that it's the Bible. Some people say it's because it's the Bible and the devil is making you not read it. No, I'm just a lazy reader. So I don't like reading so much. And if I'm following like something that is telling me to read 2 chapters, 3 chapters, and I read like 3 sentences and I'm already sleepy, and then I wake up in the morning and I didn't read it, and then there's the morning one I'm supposed to read. It makes you like, you can be hard on yourself. Well, myself, it made me be really hard on myself. So now when I'm reading it, I'm trying to go at my pace. If today I feel like reading a chapter, I'm going to read a chapter. If I feel like reading just some few verses, but at one point I want to be like, I've read the whole of it, and yeah, I know it for myself, and it's not just what people are telling me about it. It's these people who make like templates for like 30-day templates on verses you can meditate on. It's like affirmations, but like Bible verse affirmations. So I've been kind of stressed lately because now I started thinking about those prayers which are not answered, and I decided to look for one of those templates. One is about overcoming stress, fear, worry, and anxiety, and then the other one that I want to do is about grace. I want to be meditating on such verses because they are going to help me overcome in the way I've told you. Like, I don't know another way. I know people be like, oh, manifestations, but I think manifesting is just like praying, because you are asking, so you are receiving. So for me, I wouldn't say I've like manifested anything and it's come, but I've prayed for things and they've happened. So I think it just works in the same way, it's just different names. And there's like power in God's word. So I'll be trying to like meditate on them and see how I can stop worrying. I'll be posting on my Instagram starting tomorrow. Tomorrow is Tuesday. So I'll be posting the first one tomorrow. If you want to join me, if you are stressed or worried, or you have anxiety, or you're afraid of something, you can follow me there, and then you'll be seen on my stories. And then the other one is about grace. That one I'll be posting at night. I really have been believing in the grace of God a lot lately. I really believe that there's grace, and I want to see like the grace of God. I want to see like the grace of God in my life. And so I'll be meditating on those verses which are kind of reminding me that there's grace. When saying like grace on grace, and affirming that grace is in my life, I think it will like stick, and I'll see like the grace of God more in my life. So if also you want, if you're not worried or anything, but you just want God's favor on your side, you can also follow me on Instagram, because I'll be posting the grace one in the evening before we go to sleep. But when we sleep, we wake up in the morning and our lives are full of grace. Then in the morning, we are fighting off the anxiety and worry and fear. On this conversation today, please comment on what you think about this type of conversation. Have you ever had to wait for something until you felt like, well, this like it's not meant for me? So if you've been in such a situation, please comment and tell me like how you overcame it. And if you had like the guilt, I told you guys, sometimes you feel guilty that it's like you're giving up on what you wanted, but really you're just going to something better, and something that you are actually called for. That's it for the video. This is the final look that we've done, and yeah, we've had the conversation that we've had. Please tell me in the comment section, are you really waiting on God, or is the answer already no and you are forcing him to say yes? Also, please subscribe to my channel. Tell me also the kinds of video you want to be seeing more of, and like this video if you liked it. Until next time, Bye.